Hey, you're on time.
I'm already so fucking over this.
All I said was hi.
Alright, so it's been well over a year since I've talked about Class of '09, a very captivating and fun visual novel, or as I like to call it, a rejection sim. And at the end of that video, I was pointing out that there was most likely going to be a sequel to the game. And I was right. Kind of. We'll talk about that later. But yes, Class of '09, The Re-Up, is more of that entertaining visual novel fun that I loved so much from the previous game. And Re-Up has more to offer, and I'm here to talk about it. Let's go. Now, obviously, this isn't some super big budget sequel of game. Nearly everything's the same from the previous installment. So if you've played that one or seen my previous video about it, the answer is yes, you should play Class of '09 or The Re-Up when you get a chance. The characters, dialogue, style, and the situations you're in are just as great as before, if not better this time around for some story routes.
You know, you remind me of my wife a bit. I want to fucking kill my wife!
Oh my god, what?
That's the short version of this video, for those who were curious, and probably kept seeing clips of it everywhere you scrolled. Yes, go play it. For those who want a more in-depth answer, stick with me. Alright, first real question. If this isn't exactly a sequel, then what is it? Don't worry, I had the same question the moment it was announced. The Re-Up is more like stories that are contained within 1 year of Nicole's high school life, because when it came to the first game, some story routes could take you throughout the rest of high school, because you always started in 2007 and could possibly end in 2009, while Re-Up specifically and only takes place in 2008, and doesn't really have any big quote-unquote time skips. So these are events and moments that could have happened within that time span, which is pretty clever. Now, I keep saying that it's virtually a one-for-one of the first game, so the art style, the 2000s aesthetic, attitude, and attire never left. The biggest difference here is that all of the story routes focus more on the side characters that didn't have much involvement from before, so much so that they really only had like 10 lines throughout all of those story routes. The first game was all about being a gaslighting, gatekeeping girl boss to the boys. This time, you get to do that to the women. That's real equality. Why bother trying to tell this shy, nerdy girl to shut up when I can just attack her emotionally, mentally, and physically?
Manipulate her. Wait, give her an eating disorder.
Give her an
that
eating disorder?
Yes.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Shit does more cognitive damage than Psychic types from Gen 1 Pokemon. That'll be the only Pokemon reference I will ever make, so I've peeked. For whatever twisted reason, do you actually want to experience true, absolute, real, toxic Yuri? Well, you can hang out with Ari and be emotionally abusive. Want to cause problems for everyone around you and commit some of the most heinous and metal shit? Well, the violent alt girl Emily will show you the ropes, literally. Which, personally to me, has the best ending when you hang out with her, and for Class of '09 standards, it's pretty fucked up. And cool! Don't want any of that? Well, fear not, you can do community service by selling crack. And then there's Megan. Okay, so yeah, the insane adventures that Nicole and Jekka embark on or get wrapped up in are pure fun. And speaking of those two, everything would be boring without them, so how are they this time around? Surprisingly, they both have this subtle character development that is definitely noticeable if you played the hell out of the first game. Not counting my boy Kyler, who's still rad as ever, there's still one person above him for the title of the best.
Oh, I am serious. Kill your mom and I'm all yours.
And I was playing the lipstick lesbian with no money for the pizza. You brought me here to cook crack?
Yeah, what else is baking soda for?
I don't know, baking?
I am nowhere near fucked up enough to watch Mythbusters.
Like, oh, you killed my parents. I'll show you with the most suffocating blowjob ever captured on video.
Dude, how much RedTube do you watch?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, Jekka, the best character! She's back and there is no weird story routes with her this time. Yes! And that mainly stems from the fact that by this point of her friendship with Nicole, Jekka isn't really on board with all the wicked stuff that Nicole does, especially watching Mythbusters. All of those possible moments I went over, Jekka wants nothing to do with them. She's actually willing to call out Nicole for her actions, which was interesting to see compared to how she would just kind of roll with everything and not really question anything. So it's refreshing to see how this dynamic is now. However, the real star of the show, the abysmal bitch, Nicole returns, with even more immoral and wild plans, all to not do homework or get revenge. For Nicole, she definitely doesn't seem as standoffish as before, but certainly and weirdly enough takes pleasure in making sure she has some sort of control over something or someone. As Jekka says,
No offense, but you're like an evil fucking bitch.
and you know what? Yeah, Nicole is evil, like actually evil this school year. Nearly everything she does, she never really sees the problem with it, even when she gets caught with it or called out. And that's how some endings make you feel, as opposed to the prior stories where a number of the endings would make me say, "Great Cassandra, you got me killed or locked up." This time, you're usually left with the feeling of, oh, damn. That doesn't mean that the story routes are bad by any means. They do a great job at keeping your attention. For the most part. What do I mean by that? Well, that more or less goes into the only critique I have for Re-Up. I love the characters, the voice acting is fucking phenomenal, the stories can't be replicated, the moments when it switches art styles from time to time, and I don't really know how to feel when I have to hear them talking about driving to the Potomac Mall. Shit's getting a little too close to home, buddy, but it's at least fun to look up the phone numbers. And I strongly appreciate that the joke for all the teachers this time isn't just, haha, they like to touch younger girls. Everything that happens with the civics, arts, and English teachers are golden. It's all super fun to watch unfold. And that's my small issue. You just watch most of it. There's 4 hours of gameplay and cutscenes. There's not much interaction from you, the player. Sometimes. Once you pick an option, well, you better sit back for who knows how long it takes for the next prompt to pop up. That's why I didn't say much about Megan, because her routes have the longest stretch of not doing much. And yeah, it's cool seeing her get screwed over in the very end for being a bitch, but I would have wanted that option to call her that and more. That was always the fun part, like that Karen moment I mentioned earlier. It doesn't change much of the story, but by God was it fantastic to choose. Which, I mean, I understand why there isn't as many, because in the first game, some choices would have a relatively decent chance of putting you on a story route you've most likely already done before. And if you're trying to get all the endings or see every interaction, then yeah, that got a bit annoying. Ultimately, I just wanted a little bit more input from me, the player, because this still is a video game. Like, for example, when you are playing around with crushed up Vicodin, it would have been sick to just click a button that just said crush pills or something fun like that. There are some moments like that, but very few and far between. But other than that small nitpick, I still had a blast playing this game with me and my friends.
I fucking hate the homeless.
That break between games, that was too long of a hiatus for that man, let me tell you. I think he lost some brain cells.
Oh, cool. Oh, socially sacrifice Jekka. No.
Yes.
No.
Kill the white supremacist.
No. She's not even that in this.
Nice.
What are you girls doing here?
Huh?
Oh no.
We made an arrest at this residence 10 minutes ago.
Girls make me want to fucking kill myself.
Oh my god.
Everything I've gone over are reasons why you should at least play one of these games by this point. They are tons of fun. And even though I wasn't much of a fan for watching the game like a show, I greatly enjoyed watching the small anime that was released a little bit afterwards. Like before, there's more Class of 09 in the future. The short anime that was uploaded a while ago definitely pushed the series into higher heights. Stan Twitter now has that in their catalog, which is either a blessing or a curse. Along with all of the out-of-context moments, Jacole fan art which needs to save me. Please save me, Jacole. Please save me. Shout out to Fi Girl Yaoi. She be making some crazy stuff. Love it. And more up-and-coming Japanimation, Class of 09 is looking pretty good for its future. And that is the review of Class of 09 The Re-Up. So yeah, really not much to say about it. It's still fun and everything. I loved it. I just kind of wish, I don't know, I at least had the ability to move my mouse a bit more and stuff, because again, I bought the game, so I at least wanted to play said game as opposed to just kind of watching it like it was just a movie in some shape or form. But other than that, I had fun. This was really neat, and man oh man, the Yuri of this game goes bonkers, so that probably definitely helped it. But yeah, I guess it's good to be back doing an actual review of some kind. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else, you know what to do.